students. In my last video, I had introduced the chapter transpiration, where I had given you the definition along with two basic experiments. Today I will be explaining you how transpiration is measured. Transpiration is measured by two methods. Number one is the weighing method and second is the potometer method. First, let's see what is weighing method. It's a very simple method in which a potted plant is taken. This potted plant is watered sufficiently and the surface of soil is covered with a polythene to prevent any kind of loss of water by evaporation. Then the weight of this potted plant is taken and this plant is allowed for transpiration by keeping it out in the sun for 2-3 hours. After this process, after transpiration, again the weight of this potted plant is taken. What do we observe? That there is a loss of weight of potted plant. This loss of weight is due to transpiration, because the water could not be evaporated from the surface of soil. So it means the water has been lost from the aerial part. Again, simple method of weighing method. Another method in which we take a test tube. We fill this test tube with water and place a twig of any plant in this test tube. We also pour few drops of oil. This oil will be making a film on the surface of water, and this is again to prevent any loss of water by evaporation. Then this test tube along with plant is kept in a beaker, and weight of beaker and this plant kept in test tube is taken. After that, this test tube is removed from the beaker and kept in a test tube stand for transpiration. After 2-3 hours, again the weight of both beaker and test tube is taken. The loss in weight is due to transpiration. Second is potometer method. Potometer is actually a device which is used to measure how much water is taken by absorption, that is uptake of water. And uptake of water is almost equal to transpiration. There are many potometers used, but out of them Genong's potometer is the best potometer which is used in biolaboratories. There is a question, that means for examination point of view, a 5-mark question is asked from this potometer. So for that you need to understand the structure of this potometer. Parts, labeled parts are also asked. The functions of parts are asked, and limitations of this potometer is also asked in the exams. So let us see what are various parts of this potometer. In this potometer, there is a capillary tube. This is horizontal capillary tube in which there is scale so that measurement can be taken with it. One end of this capillary tube is placed in beaker, and beaker is containing colored water. For this experiment, we take colored water so that when the movement is taking place, it can be easily observable. Next is, there is end of this potometer where a leafy shoot is placed in this way as it is shown in the diagram. This leafy shoot is without any root, and this leafy shoot should be cut inside water so that there is no entry of any air bubble, otherwise it will block the way of transport of water. Then there is reservoir also. This reservoir is filled with water. In case we need to take the readings again, then the stop cock is opened here, and then this water from reservoir will be released into the capillary. So how the experiment using this potometer is start? Remember, this potometer is used how much water is taken up, that is uptake of water, and this uptake of water will be equal to transpiration. Now what is done? as I told you that water is taken, colored water is taken in the beaker. Then this leafy shoot is placed on the other end. This leafy shoot will start absorbing water. This whole apparatus is filled with water and leafy shoot will start absorbing water. As it starts absorbing water, then an air bubble is placed in the horizontal capillary tube. How is it done? How is this air bubble is inserted or introduced? This is air bubble. How it is introduced? This is done by lifting this capillary, this tube which is inserted into the beaker. This is lifted because suction force has been created. Water is being lost by transpiration, so suction force will be created here, and we lift this capillary tube so that an air bubble will enter here and this will enter up to the capillary tube. This is how this air bubble is introduced into the capillary tube. Now then we see and wait for the process of transpiration. As water will be lost from the surface of leaves, a suction force will be created, and then this will help in uptake of water. That means water will start taking up into the capillary, and with that uptake of water, this air bubble will also start moving to the right side. As more water will be taken up, this air bubble will also start moving, and we can read these on the capillary tube that how many centimeters this air bubble has moved, and this will be telling us that how much water has been taken up. Now what is the use of this reservoir? Suppose we want to start the experiment, that means we want to restart the experiment. Suppose we have taken certain reading under one condition, then we want to restart the experiment. Then the stop cock is opened and water from reservoir will be released, and this air bubble will also be moved out. So this air bubble will be moved out, and again the experiment can be started by again introducing this air bubble under a different condition. So this is how this potometer is used, not only for transpiration but for how much water has been taken up. Now in exams, what questions are asked? Limitations of this potometer are asked. What are limitations of this potometer? As we are simply saying that this air bubble is introduced into the potometer, this is not an easy task. This is first limitation of potometer. This is called Gannon's potometer. So first limitation is that introducing this air bubble is a difficult task. Secondly, this leafy shoot which is taken here, and this is without a root, so this may not survive for very long hours. It may die. Third limitation is, in case there is any temperature change in the external environment, then this will also affect the process and movement of air bubble. In my next video, I will be explaining you about different types of transpiration.